Hey guys, it's Lazarus here, and today we'll be discussing the 10 best tank mates for your Praecox Rainbowfish, aka the Dwarf Neon Rainbowfish. Let's dive straight into the video. So first up is one of my absolute favorites that do really well with this fish. So first on the list are the white-tip tetras. They're also known as the Bentosi tetras and the white-finned ornate tetras. They're also a false rosy tetra, so people do confuse them with the rosy tetras, but they're a bit different. So to tell male and females is really easy. The males will have a very, very thin white tip on the end of its dorsal fin, whereas the females will have a big white visible white tip on its dorsal fin. So you can feed these guys any small foods. They do have quite small mouths and they do tolerate the lower pHs. They can go on a pH from 6.5 to 7.5, along with a nice tropical temperature from 22 to 26 degrees Celsius. So they'll eat anything that fits in their mouths, but since they do have fairly small mouths, they'll eat any small foods you'll feed them. So they are plant safe and they will be able to tolerate community tanks. They're super peaceful. They won't bother a single other fish. So have a nice group of 4 or more with them, and you'll have lots of success. The bigger the school, the better, and they'll definitely bring a nice display into the tank. So give the white-finned tetras a go. So first up are the white-finned tetras. Next up are the Platys and Guppies. So they have fairly similar fish. All that's really similar is basically that they're live bearers. So both of these fish will give birth to live young. Now the reason why I put both of them together on this list is that they do a great duo with the Dwarf Neon Rainbowfish, but they're also just in general really similar, so there's no point doing 2 different guides on these fish. So guppies are basically a really popular aquarium fish. You can find them at any pet store, same with the Platys. Guppies usually get to around 5 centimeters, similar size to the Praecox Rainbowfish, but a little bit smaller. And then the Platys usually get to about 8 centimeters. So they're a bit bigger than the guppies, but they both will eat anything that fits in their mouths. The guppies are called the million fish because they're one of the easiest fish to breed out there. Have a male and a female and they'll breed within a month in your tank. Same with the Platys, but guppies will have lots of babies. So they can have up to 100 babies in one batch of fry. So it's pretty crazy, but definitely give the Platys or the guppies, or even both, a try with your Praecox Rainbowfish. Very rewarding, and you can get all color varieties with these 2 awesome little fish. So if you do have a blackbeard algae issue in your tank, then I recommend the Siamese algae eaters. They do fine with your Praecox Rainbowfish because they're not too small for your Praecox Rainbowfish to pick on, but also because the Siamese algae eaters are probably the only fish out there that will eat blackbeard algae. So it's a very common and annoying algae that you get in your tank a lot. So if you don't want to have that blackbeard algae in your tank, it's easy. Get a group of 3 or more of the Siamese algae eaters and they will eat up all your blackbeard algae. The more Siamese algae eaters you have, the more they will eat up all that blackbeard algae. So they're very big use in the tank. They're a great one for maintaining the blackbeard algae too. So give them a try. Vary the diet now and then as well. Don't just rely on them on blackbeard algae. Give them a try with your Praecox Rainbowfish, as they won't cross over each other too much and they'll both leave each other alone. So next up are the Boesmani Rainbowfish. They are a stunning little rainbowfish, similar size to your Praecox rainbows, and they do require the same water parameters as the Praecox. So give them a try because they're a perfect duo. And when you see those community tanks out there, the heavily planted long aquariums, you have that rainbowfish style tank, it looks really cool and they're an awesome combo. So Boesmani Rainbowfish usually a half orangey yellow and a half blue, so they do bring a really cool color tone to your tank. So give them a try because they're so easy to take care of. They're not as common as most of your beginner fish out there, but they're very rewarding once you find them. Give them nice nutritious foods and high quality fish flakes for the best coloration out of these fish. They will show their best looking coloration after water changes and when you first turn on the tank lights in the morning. If you're looking for a vibrant colored fish to go on your tank to bring lots of activity and schooling, then I definitely recommend the Boesmani Rainbowfish. So next up are the blue Acaras. Now what I'm specifically targeting here is the electric blue Acaras. So a really cool thing about these fish is that the electric blue ones do have a really vibrant blue color to it, and that's just like the neon blue rainbowfish. So they both bring a nice neon blue color to the tank, so it's a really awesome duo. really beautiful vibe going on in there. I have them together in this tank behind me, and they do absolutely fine. Blue acaras do tend to get a bit aggressive. It won't be too much of a problem, just letting you know. And usually the blue acaras hang out at the bottom of the tank, so they'll leave the Praecox Rainbowfish alone. Because I've seen with the Praecox that they always are hanging out the middle to the top, and if there's food at the bottom, then they'll go to the bottom. But otherwise, your blue acaras will rarely pick on the neon blue rainbowfish. So if you ever do have any conflict between them, definitely consider separating them, so you don't want any injuries with your fish. Because as you may know, neon blue rainbowfish are quite an expensive fish here in Australia. Consider the electric blue acara, because they bring an awesome vibrant color to the tank, and they will fill up that coloration in the tank too. So if you're looking for a really cool fish out there, then consider the electric blue acara. Now next up is an ancestress. Next up we have the Bristlenose Plecos. So other people like to call them bristlenose catfish, but basically they got their name because on their nose they have little bristles. Females will have the little bristles, but the males will have the big viney whiskers going all around over the top of the nose. So it's a really interesting look to the fish, and a lot of people consider them as alien fish because they do look like they came from another planet. They don't look like they're earth creatures, but they are, and they are awesome to keep. They're so fun, and when you see them sucking on that glass, it's so entertaining to watch. Sometimes they go crazy, they scuttle along the front of the tank glass, but other times they just like to stay there and suck on a little bit. And they're a great algae eater for your tank. They'll clean up all that glass algae, all that slimy algae you'll see throughout your tank. So definitely give them a go if you're trying to get rid of that algae. It'll just give you a bit of a kickstart, and you just can't rely on them all the time with the algae, because they will need, once, especially when they get bigger more often, they will need to have algae wafers or other herbivorous pellets and that sort of stuff. So they love sucking, so I definitely recommend the algae wafers. They're the best choice, in my opinion. If you're going to keep bristlenose catfish, you can just keep them by themselves or in groups, whatever you choose, but they do great with anything really. They're not a fussy fish at all, and they'll eat anything that drops to the floor usually. So neon tetras are super common, peaceful community fish, great for your heavily planted aquariums. They look great in all those heavily planted aquariums with lots of live plants. They look better with the live plants than the fake plants, so keep that in mind. And of course, you know, live plants are more fun to keep than fake plants because they grow and you have to maintain them, which is fun, and you'll learn a lot. Anyway, the neon tetras, they won't hurt a single soul in the tank. Sometimes you might get a group of aggressive little ones, so those are very rare cases, and I've actually experienced those with my friends before, but I've never really seen them other than that before. And they do sometimes like to pick on other fish, but if they do, you just need to separate them. But I'm telling you, 90% of the time they won't bother a single fish, and they'll just keep going on their ways as long as you have a nice big school. So I recommend 5 or more because they are a vibrant neon fish. They have a neon blue stripe going across their body, so they are a great match for your Praecox, because you know the neon blue rainbow fish are neon blue, so are the neon tetras, so you can see there's a great combo of coloration right there. So yeah, give the neon tetras a go, give them a chance. They are quite a common fish, so you'll find them anywhere, so they're not hard to find and they shouldn't be too expensive. So give the neon tetras a try if you're a beginner looking for some really cool vibrant fish that will get you even deeper into this hobby. Number 8 are the Rummynose Tetra. They are a grey to white tetra that do have a red head, so it's a really interesting look to them, and they're very unique in the hobby. So the Rummynose Tetra are considered maybe the best schooling fish out there. So if you want to get some really fast action schooling going on where they're staying tight together like a pack of sardines that are getting chased by predators, then definitely consider the Rummynose Tetras. They are common and they are easy to keep. They are bulletproof fish and can survive wide varieties of water parameters, and they will be able to adapt to all sorts of styles of tanks out there. They love the heavily planted aquariums, so if you do have lots of hiding places throughout the tank, it's a funny fact, they'll actually come out more often because they'll feel more safe, and they ever do see predators, they can always just go straight into the plants. If you're looking for really cool schooling going on in your tank, well put together too, then have a think about the Rummynose Tetra. Now number 9 is a staple all aquarists love. Next up we have the Harlequin Rasboras. So they are a striking Rasbora and they're great schooling fish too. Have a group of 5 or more for the best results, and they do a really good job at schooling. Not as good as the Rummynose, but definitely one that you'll probably like. So the Harlequin Rasboras will bring a really vibrant color tone to the tank, as they have that striking orange going around the body along with that purple to black marking on the center of their body. So they are quite a cool little fish, really hardy and bulletproof, awesome for beginners. So if you're a beginner, consider the Harlequin Rasboras. They are so easy to find as they are such a common fish, and if you want to get into the difficult side of breeding, you can try these guys out. Give them a go as well, just makes it a bit more fun keeping them. But the Harlequin Rasboras are so peaceful, they'll easily go with your dwarf neon rainbow fish since they leave other fish alone. They'll only care about themselves and they'll only just mind their own business throughout the tank. So they will explore all levels of the tank, so if you get a big school of them, you'll have action all over the tank. It's a really fun thing to watch. They're so entertaining fish too, so they'll also school up when eating too, and they'll look best just like the Boesmani Rainbowfish after water changes and when you first turn on the aquarium lights. So consider the Harlequin Rasboras. Now last is a gorgeous community fish. Next up we have the honey Gouramis. So they were a fish that will bring a really nice yellow color to your aquarium. So if you want to have some action at the surface of the tank, then consider honey Gouramis. They will be constantly swimming at the top of the tank, so you'll have non-stop action up there. They will rarely go out into the open. I've seen with my honey Gouramis in the past, and they are quite peaceful. They won't bother any other fish, so definitely give the honey Gouramis a go because they're very rewarding fish and they have incredible personalities. They're just so fun to watch and so fun to keep, and overall just one you should really consider trying out, because you're just going to regret it if you don't try these ones out. Well, there you have the 10 best tank mates for your Praecox Rainbowfish. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this. Have a great day everyone. I'll see you all in the next video.